This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Coming from the 606 Media Studios. This is the TCSF podcast with Big Z featuring JC, Dynasty Fantasy Football, and Stevie B from the No Water on the Weekend podcast. Episode 219 is brought to you by 606 Media, True Chicago sports fans, and Grick Clothing Company. Don't forget to go to grickclothingco.com and get your official TCSF podcast t-shirt. Search for keyword True Chicago and use our promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off your entire order. That is TrueFan15. Go and get your shirts now. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or the X, hit that subscribe button.
Smash.
That's right. And if you're listening to on your favorite podcast app, remember to give us a 5-star review on there and drop some kind words. Or you can switch over to the YouTube, or you can go to 606media.com and you can find all the episodes there, the YouTube or the audio versions of all of our podcasts. You can also support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm/True Chicago Sports Fans. Go over there and click on the support button and subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. Again, we have other podcasts on the network. We got the No Water on the Weekend with Steve B and Sean. Tons of fun stuff to do. What was last week's episode?
What is it? Goldfish actually has a new name for itself. They're targeting their market for our age. So
the cookie, the cracker, or are you talking about
the cracker
fish?
Goldfish?
Okay.
So you're gonna have to listen to what they call it. We talk a little bit about your show promotion. We do some promos for that. We do what you're watching. That's I think our third time we've actually played that song, and it's been great. I think last week following we had a guest with Danny. He was on the show, so it was good to have him there. After the show, he was still pounding beers and he was having a good time. So it was a good time. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
It's always a good time on No Water on the Weekend. Shout out to Sean with the new kitties.
Yes.
Happy anniversary to Sean and Angie over there. Tons of cool stuff happening around lately. So shout out to you guys. Also, you can check out Impossible with Big Z. There's 9 episodes we can catch up. And I swear to you, I'm going to finish that last episode. I've been saying that for a month and a half already. It's going to happen. So go over there and Podcated with Big Z. It's on all audio and YouTube channels. Or you can just go to the 606media.com website and consume the content there. So give us some love. Local sports tonight with Ivan should be back soon as he gets unbusy. I know he is just finishing up with TTNO at the moment, so I'm not sure if he's going to jump on. But Ivan's always a good sport. So without further delay, episode 219, the Cardinal Sin. In this live episode, we are going to talk about the 29-9 loss to the Arizona Cardinals in 3 and out. The WhiteSox Gm search is over with a familiar name. The Cubs add some hardware in the outfield, and someone wants to stay in Chicago. We'll talk about that. And then more of the same with the Bulls, the up-and-down Bulls who are actually playing tonight at home versus Utah
Jazz,
who has not won a game, which surprisingly. But we'll talk about that. But let's start off with our segment of 3 up and 3 and out. I'm sorry, 3 and out. All right, boys, this past Sunday, the matchup against the Arizona Cardinals and the Chicago Bears faced a challenging game. I knew they were going to lose. I called it last week. So, yeah, check mark for me, a point tally, stickers and all that. But I didn't know it was going to be this bad. The offense struggled. Imagine total of 241 yards compared to the Cardinals' 350. Caleb, 41 throws, 22 completed for 217, but sacked 6 times. We knew with that makeshift line there was going to be pass protection struggles, and Shane Waldron and Eberflus did not make the necessary adjustments. It felt like Eberflus just took a nice trip and golfed out in Arizona because he was not into the game of what was going on. They allowed 213 rushing yards. Sickening, just sickening. James Conner just threw back the clock and just 107 yards and 18 carries. They kept their quarterback Mighty Mouse in check with 154 passing yards, but that running game just really killed us. Boys, what did you see?
Do you want me to go first or you, JC?
No, go ahead.
All right. Well, blame is passed around between everyone, I would assume, between coaching. It's got to be a little bit of Caleb, but there is some positive with Roma Dunze scoring averaging more than 100 yards that game, which was awesome. Awesome for him. So, kudos for him. And, it was a great game. But penalties, that's a killer in the beginning of the first half. I think we're third most penalties in the NFL in 8 games. So, I don't know. I think the false starts, the offensive line is, moving too quick. You're getting called. We're not really happy with Eberflus right now. I think if he loses against Patriots next week, I think you could honestly say that that's a nail in the coffin for him. I mean, right now he's 2-10 in the division with a 3.33% winning percentage, and he's 14 for 28 in his career with us. So for 3 years, I mean, it's not good.
No, it's definitely not good, especially when you have not won a Sunday road game.
That's correct. He's 0-18.
0 Sunday. I mean, the last time I checked, 90% of the games or 95% of the games that we play are on Sunday, and half of those are on the road. It's just sad on what has transpired, because I posted up on the page, on the True Chicago Sports Fans Facebook page, and it had all the past 4 coaches, and I said, who is the worst? And that thing blew up, and people were going back and forth, and it's between Eberflus and Nagy and Fox and
Trustman.
Trestman, thank you.
Yeah.
I think Trestman.
Nobody was worse than Trustman.
Yeah, Trestman was leading, and I think everybody was saying that. What's up, Izzy, for joining in? We'll get to Izzy in a second, but
I'm shocked. I'm the only one wearing a Bears hat today, and I guess I picked the wrong hat.
No, I'm wearing my Dodgers because they won the championship.
Boring.
Hold it.
I think Caleb struggled. Of course he did. He didn't look that great. Slow start again. I think you got to get this guy moving. You got to get him, get small passes in and out. Cole Kmet was nowhere to be seen at all.
No.
I'll bring up this, and maybe it's one of the things on here I didn't quite see, but DJ Moore walks off the field mid-play.
I did see that.
And it's kind of like he's scrambling, but then he has to throw it out and dish it out to Keenan Allen, and that's a forced pass. And you already see DJ already off the field. So
he
I was like,
off the field. Yeah, Caleb still had the ball in his hand, and he was looking in that direction. It was a straight line, and he just kept running off the field, just actually walking off the field. So maybe I don't know.
So what somebody brought up, which I didn't really go back to take a look at, is that there was the potential that he may have stepped out of bounds, and once you step out of bounds, you can't be the first person to touch the ball anyway. So he was kind of like, "Well, I'm already out of the play anyway," and he just kept walking.
Yeah, he was on the bench, and that's a great point. But
so like I said, he was pretty close to the sideline, when Caleb was running that way. So like I said, whether or not his toe touched out of bounds or not, I'd have to go back and take a look at the film a little closer. But like I said, I know someone brought that up, that once you step out of bounds, you cannot be the first person to touch the ball. So it was one of those, like, he basically just said, well, I can, but he should have been there blocking, he should have been there doing something else, to just literally step out. I can't believe it.
You're muted.
I said he still could have been a decoy and started, going towards the end zone and taking the defender with him. He could have done something. I mean, you just don't quit on the play. So it's hard.
But this is not the first time this season that we have seen DJ quit on a play.
Yeah.
This is the second or third time now that we've watched him give up on a play or look frustrated, go sit on the end of the bench by himself, not go to the locker room with the rest of the team, and, wait 2 minutes to, get up and then go to the locker room. So, I mean, there is, and even today he did a press conference with, I forget if it was
670 the score.
70 to score. And he basically, they asked him, is Eberflus, whatever, and he goes,
lost the locker room.
It was the locker room, right?
How did he phrase it? I'd like to say no.
Yep.
So by saying I'd like to say no, that means you'd like to say that he hasn't, but basically you just admitted he's lost the locker room. And from I read another article today that the veterans were very upset with the coaches, that the coaches are trying to hold everyone accountable, but they will not hold themselves accountable for, taking bad calls, for throwing the challenge flag when it's clearly not a challengeable play, that, the play is clearly, something that should not be challenged. As well as, we flat out have Eberflus saying last week, oh, that play didn't matter.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Go sit down, dude. Like everyone and their mother, even the freaking head coach of the Commanders said, if that 15-yard play did not happen, we would have been crushed and defeated.
Yeah.
So, you know what? That tells me right there everything I need to know about you. I am done with you as a head coach. You know what? I'm already looking like Ben Johnson, Mike Vrabel. You name a offensive head, and I know Vrabel is a defensive headed, coach, but he holds his players accountable, and he's also a player's coach. So it's one of those where you're not going to stir the pot too much by bringing in a defensive coordinator or defensive-minded coach. However, he led the Titans the whole time he was there in Tennessee. What was he, like 9-6, 10 and whatever? Like he had a decent team. He could just never get himself over the hump.
Yeah, he definitely was kind of more like Lovie Smith, where he's always in it. Always his team accountable, and it just so happened that the division was
at this point, I would love to have Lovie Smith again. My God, the coaches we've had over how many years?
Lovie never had a good offensive coordinator. He could never pick a good offensive coordinator, and that was his issue. So it's the same thing.
I will say
this:
Bill Belichick, no.
Yeah, I would say no to Billy too.
That dude put him out the pasture. He's done. Is he knowledgeable? He's going to be a Hall of Famer? Yes, but we need some fresh blood in here. And also, like the McCaskies will not hire somebody that is that strong-minded. That's why they didn't go after Harbaugh as well, because Harbaugh wanted to be GM and the head coach, just like Bill Belichick. And Bill Belichick was horrible at drafting. Horrible.
Well, I think if Belichick could get over himself and just be the head coach, I mean, I think it would be a great tandem between Poles and Belichick. Again, he would have to join the 21st century in the way of offense, because without Tom Brady, he had no offense. And every single one of his coordinators that moved on and tried to be a head coach failed. That is not a good look from a head coaching staff. Although you could say the same thing about every single one of Andy Reid's, underlings, that there really has not been a single head coach come out of the Andy Reid tree that has done anything. Nagy, any of those guys. Nope.
I will say this, we talked about challenges. Out of the 3 years, he had 7 and he's only won 2 for challengings. So yeah, not really a great record either.
Yeah. Also saw next gen stats saying 16 different Cardinals got a pressure against the Bears this past Sunday. Most individual players to get a pressure on a defense since 2018. Cardinals walked into the game with a 26.6 pressure rate and pressured Caleb on 46% of his dropbacks.
That's not hard to do behind our offensive line. Let's just be honest. I mean, it's to the point where, we are playing guys that, they're third string guys. I mean, but we're doing the best we can to field the team.
Did we lose Big Z? I think we did.
I believe we did. But we'll keep it going. And, we also look at, we're down, Brisker, we're down Gordon, and we were down Sweat this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is a huge task to lose, Sweat, Gordon, and Brisker. Now the concern is what's going on with Brisker, because it was concussion.
Yep.
Now it's been 2 weeks plus our bye week.
Yep. So a total of 3 weeks, and next week will be 4.
So that's very concerning that he in 3 weeks is still having symptoms, or again, I don't know if they've come out and said he has some other injury that I'm unaware of. I really have not paid that close of attention. But if this is a 3-week concussion head issue, that's a little troublesome, because I mean, now you're talking to a kind of length for a head injury recovery. So that's a little worrisome. I mean, I know the hit he laid, it was a huge hit, but like I said, the timeline starts to worry you of, if he has another concussion, is he going to be out another 3 to 4 weeks? Or, where most guys, it takes, 8 to 9 days to come back. We're talking almost 21 days now.
Yeah. I mean,
Big Z, you've had a couple concussions.
Yeah, it took me about 2 weeks to be finally like not foggy and not have any symptoms. But I'm also at least 10 to 15 years older than what he is. So he should be able to recover a little bit faster. But if this is something where he's had concussions and maybe never diagnosed them, never took care of them, or if he's not taking care of himself during this time off, if he's in front of screens and loud noises and lots of bright lights and not taking care of himself, then those things will linger on. I know.
Let's test this theory out. Okay, someone hit me in the head, and we'll see how long it takes me to recover.
I don't need to do that, because I've had a massive concussion myself in high school, where it was a complete out-of-body experience. Let me tell you, worrisome from that aspect, but also kind of cool, like having an out-of-body experience. Like,
okay,
you're
Dr.
there,
Strange.
like, yes, very much so, where it's like your body's moving, everything's happening. Like, because it happened to me during a wrestling practice. Basically got double leg takedown, and the person that they dumped me, and I was grappling with them, so my hands were like on them, hit my head bounced up off the mat, and then their body landed on my head, so like I hit my head twice. So like I said, out of body experience, like everything. I continued the match and continued to wrestle, but again, had no recollection, had no memory
of autopilot. Yeah,
but like I said, I still finished the match, which like I said, your body's on autopilot.
Congratulations.
You have nobody. Oh no, I did not win. Again, you're not there mentally. Like your body's going through the motions, and like Z said, you're on autopilot, but you have no faculties whatsoever. Like I said, went through stay in a dark place for 24 hours, parents having to come, and you still awake, like you still, coming and checking on you like every 2-3 hours. But like I said, I mean, 21 days later, I mean, that's not boding well.
Honestly, maybe I should call when I drink too much, getting a concussion, because how to remember shit the next day.
Well, you are dehydrating your brain. That doesn't.
That's a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That's exactly what we're saying.
I don't remember. No, I hear you. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, hopefully he's okay. And, it's not looking too good on defense side either. So,
yeah, well, left tackle Braxton Jones has a knee issue, ruled out for week 9. Montez Sweat has a shin. Like, he got spiked, and it was a significant spike. So it broke the skin and all that stuff. So he didn't play. Hopefully he'll be back.
Did that happen in practice?
No, that was in that last game. Not Arizona, but the Cleveland
Commanders
game.
Okay, because I had heard nothing about it until like day of.
I heard
So I'm not
they
sure
cleared
if
it up this morning when I was listening to the radio. Brisker still like we just talked about in concussion protocol. Will miss his third consecutive, which he did. Kyler Gordon hamstring. I know Izzy was talking about the offensive lineman from Buffalo that we got. Ryan Bates. He should be back. He's still questionable. Larry Borum ankle. Tevin Jenkins knee. Kieran Amagaje calf. I mean, it's such a bad time to have this many injuries at this time when we're about to go to the meat and potatoes of our schedule, because we have New England, which is a very big, winnable game. But after that, it is the hardest schedule in the NFL. You've got San Francisco, then you have all of your division opponents.
Thanksgiving for the Lions.
The Lions are going to beat the brakes off the Bears both occasions. I don't, I'm going to change my opinion. I said they would split. I don't see that. I think, and also with Minnesota, I think, with all these injuries and the lack of focus and them losing the locker room, I can't see them winning, any of the division foes.
No. And you sit here and you listen to all the reports of, the Bears, should have been a hot destination for, any players to want to come here. And you're reading everyone wants to go to the Commanders. Everyone's telling their agents, if I am to be traded, I want to go to the Commanders. So it's one of those where, it's not looking good for the Bears. And to me personally, I don't see us being buyers at the deadline, because at this point you're 4-4. Unless there's a miracle, there's no way we're gonna take the division.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, not at all.
So, in my opinion, Keenan Allen should be up for trade.
Yep.
If you are not going to sign the man to a long-term deal, for God's sakes, make him available.
And get something out of nothing.
You're gonna have to up his
give Rome more reps. Get him more reps. And that is how you help this team long term. Because, making him the third wide receiver and 3 wide receiver sets, it does him no good when he's playing 55% of the snaps or whatever it is. Because
he's also not catching the ball, though.
Yeah, he had one yesterday that it went right through his hands.
3 of them.
Yeah.
He had 4 receptions, but I think he was targeted 12 times. I'm like, dude, catch the damn ball. That is you're a possession receiver. You're third down receiver that, that's your safety valve. I don't know why we got him if we're not going to use him. You trade him, and you're going to have to eat that contract. I'm telling you right now.
Well, like I said, we talked about this last week that, Rome was a luxury pick.
Yep.
There were better positions of need that we should have filled those positions, but we went for the luxury pick thinking that, Poles outthought himself, thought he fixed the offensive line. He did not. All right. We have Billings and Dexter. Billings has been hurt. So we have an issue next to Dexter right now that, we're getting gashed in the run game. I brought that up to you a week ago or so, saying that there's a defensive tackle or defensive end in like a 3-4-4-3 scheme in Tennessee who's on a 1-year, $4 million deal. He would be somebody to look into. But at this point,
why bother?
Why would I trade picks?
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Bears should be sellers, because at this point, they have shown we are not ready to take on the likes of the Bears or the Lions, the Packers, and Minnesota. We are 4th in the division. We are what we thought we were. We were sold a bill of goods in the HBO series that, we were coming alive and Caleb is our savior.
The Messiah.
The Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
And let's face it, Caleb is good, but there are extenuating issues with the line, with the defensive line. We have no second defensive edge rusher. We have other issues. Now, positives, we have a super young secondary. Love the secondary. Brisker, now that's questionable. That might be an issue. But you look at Byard has been amazing. Brisker is amazing. Gordon, Stevenson, and Jalen Johnson. That secondary is amazing. Linebackers, Edmund, Edwards, Sanborn, cannot complain about the linebackers, right? So now it is purely pass rush and defensive tackles that we need to, again, it's trenches. And
what is Keenan's trade value then? Because I know Israel's saying he's throwing stuff out there, but he was, if I remember correctly, traded for a 4th round pick. So you're not going to get anything better than a 5th round pick unless you eat the entire contract, right?
Let me see. I'm trying to look up.
I would think so. I would think that's correct. But
his roster bonus was $5 million. Cap hit is 23.1. Dead cap is $5 million. So which is his bonus.
Dead cap doesn't matter because he's on an expiring contract. So
right, because that's already been paid out, right? So you're looking at $18 million.
Pocket change.
And it's we're halfway through the season, so that's about $9 million left.
Yeah, I think as of right now, it looks like according to Sports Track, looks like he might still be due around or no, I'm sorry, that was 2013. So 23 million.
Carry it over the 2 minus the 1.
Yeah, you guys keep talking. I will figure this out.
All right. I'm up for it. I think there's too much star power for not having an offensive line. I mean, there's too many great players on there, and it's kind of hard. One week you're seeing it be DJ Moore, then you're seeing it be Keenan Allen one game, and then last time you could say Rome was targeted that many times, 12, and got 4. So, I mean, he needs reps. We've talked about that, so I get why you'd want to train Keenan Allen. So. It makes sense.
So according to my math, he's still due about 13 million for the rest of the season. Because figuring we're what are we, week 8?
Yeah.
So that leaves about 13 million left for the rest of the season. So, I mean, but there's teams out there. I mean, you look at San Francisco, you look at San Diego wants wide receiver. There are plenty of teams out there.
I think Israel has a good point. Baltimore is ready to win now. They need small pieces to put them over. They need a possession receiver that's not going to cost much money, and they'll set because they want to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm all for it. I want to see Baltimore win. I want to see Derrick Henry win a championship. Definitely. Really? You're not a Baltimore fan?
Not a Baltimore fan.
It's more for Derrick Henry. I follow his career. I was always a big fan of his. We also have the issue of our running back that we have not used, who was averaging over 4 yards per carry last year. And, they let him go pursue a trade. Nothing's happened. I think he is going to be released after the trade deadline. What do you think?
Which running back are we talking about?
Herbert.
I mean, I'm still hoping that we can get some compensation out of Herbert. If he's not traded, there's no way we release him. Because you're going to hold on to him for the rest of the season as your backup. Just in case there's an injury. But I would hope that there's someone out there. Like I said, I mean, you look at the Cowboys and how bad they are playing. They have no rushing game at all whatsoever. There's plenty of teams out there that could use a rusher of Herbert's caliber, even as the backup to, say, a Joe Mixon or, any of these other guys that are out there. Like I said, San Francisco right now, they still don't even know if McCaffrey's coming back. And Jordan Mason's hurt, there's many of other issues. The Giants, they have a running back issue. I mean, I could probably name a few other teams just, really going through the list. But like I said, for me, Keenan Allen, 13 million left, if we say, hey, you know what, we'll split it down the middle. We'll take a $7 million cap hit for the rest of the season. You take a 7, and we can get a second round pick that we gave up to get him in the first place. I would do it. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Like I said, at this point, why not?
Those are two pieces you've got to trade at the deadline and get as many picks as you can.
Because, like, I mean, Keenan he could be so valuable to a team that's in the hunt that, I mean, it's just ridiculous. And like I said, polls, I don't, again, I think he's a good GM. I don't mind all the stuff that he has done for this team. He's put together a great secondary. The linebackers are great. Like, again, he put together a great offense. But the fact of the matter is our trenches are not where the rest of our team is. So it's just
maybe his timeline of what he was going to do and when, is probably what he's sticking to. He's like, all right, we're going to do offense this draft and, get as many free agents. And that's what he did. And, he addressed last year was the trade for Montez Sweat and securing the defense. And I think, next draft and next offseason, he's going to do the offensive line. And maybe he's taking it step by step and piece by piece. But, we were sold a bad, we were falsely advertised.
We're always sold the wrong thing all the time. A Cubs fan, this right now.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, unfortunately with the HBO hype as well, yes, we definitely got sold how do I want to phrase this properly without ticking off our listeners? We were sold what should have been Wagyu 5 steak, and it ended up being a dog turd on the front porch burning.
I mean, I'd still keep it a nice low class steak, but the ones that I could afford. But it
was full-fledged brown bag on the front porch.
They don't even put it out. They just let it burn this place down.
Again, I said to my
Are you
friends,
having a brain turd right now?
No, I said to my friends, and I sent it to you guys too. The upside of the Bears is we have a super young secondary. Defensive end, Sweat is locked up. We have Javon Dexter, who is a stud. We have great pieces on this team. It's just a coaching failure. And I don't know what it is about the Bears and why we cannot find a coaching staff that can ever coach the Bears properly. It's beyond me to understand how we fail again and again and again to find a coaching staff.
I think it goes all the way to the top. I honestly think at this point. And some pay, because you can't, like Jerry Jones gets people who just, hey, follow orders, right? Same thing you could say with the White Sox. Reinsdorf gets guys that just listen to him and don't push back, right? You're getting now guys that are not pushing back against Hallis Hall, and you've gone through the quarterback or coaches we talked about, Fox, Trustman, Nagy. They never really pushed back, and they would get all irritated by the end of the season when they were losing and they knew they were going to get fired. It's just, I think it goes all the way to the top.
So and that brings me to one of my points that I was going to make just to close out the segment. Caleb Williams out there with less than 2 minutes to play, and he got shellacked 2 plays in a row, and he came up limping with a hamstring, and then it was his ankle. I don't know about you, but I had nightmare flashbacks to Derrick Rose in Philadelphia winning by 12 and out there and then blows out his leg. The game is lost. It's 29-9. Why is the backup up there? And Eberflus was asked about this, and he said, "Oh, we were working on stuff. We're working on a 2-minute drill, dude. Your offensive line is Swiss cheese, and you're letting your franchise quarterback take hits after hits after hits. What mindset do you have to be that dumb to not understand this game is over? Pull your starters, live to fight another day, and not get your franchise players hurt. He's dumbfounding, just dumbfounding. So I don't know if anybody but me saw that, but I was like, not again, please, not again.
No, I mean, I definitely agree with you. I mean, it's just, but again, that is the coaching staff we have. Again, they have admitted that they are negligent, that they do not have an idea of what they're doing.
Mhm.
Again, to publicly state on a radio show, oh, that 15 play before the Hail Mary didn't matter. I would have fired him that second. Like, and again, I get polls, they share the same,
Philosophy.
no, not philosophy. They share the same agent. And that's
And
part of,
Walden.
hey, help my guy out over here. You're no, you know what? Forget all this goody two shoe helping each other out, giving a guy a job. And I don't care that the players like Eberflus or not, and that he's their buddy and all this other stuff. I don't care anymore. The fact of the matter is that, you know what? Poles needs to be given the opportunity to pick a coach that he actually feels that can do something with this team. And we talked about it last week. We have a good team. We are getting there. But the bottom line is that when you have a coach that cannot go more than 0-13 on road games, and don't get me wrong, we all understood he was going through a rebuild. We are trying to build this team up. But just like we talk with your White Sox, hey, you had a bad roster. You got dealt a bad hand. Guess what? We are ready to win, and you're not the coach for it. And you got to go. You're the sacrificial lamb. You were good enough to get us through the years that we sucked, but now you gots to go.
Look at that. You got somebody agreeing with you, JC. Get Verber. Jesus
Vrabel.
Christ. Vrabel. Maybe give you sign Waldron. No, Waldron needs to go too. Waldron just needs to go. Yeah, he needs to go. Before
like
we
I said, I mean, when you have Ben Johnson from the Lions, who openly stated that he was interested in being the Bears head coach, but that we did not move on from Eberflus in the offseason, to me, that was a failure. Because, again, you had the number one offensive-minded head coach candidate that wanted to come to your team, and you fumbled the ball to keep Eberflus. And I don't know. I don't know what more I can say.
It's hard because it's going to be a toss up, right? Because you have a offensive coordinator who's never been a head coach coming in, or do you go after a proven commodity, which you could have? You could have went after Hardball. You wanted a hard nosed guy that's going to hold these guys accountable and all that stuff. Hardball, but we all know that Hardball he wears out his welcome, right? He's like Tibbs. He's going to work these guys super hard until they can't go anymore, and they look like a number 2 pencil. You're just writing with a little tip. That's what ends up happening with Hardball. So, do you win our championship with Hardball? Who knows? Yeah, we know that. Yep. All right. All right. Just to finish this segment, they're going to play the New England Patriots next week at home. So, give me your predictions. Start off with JC.
I think it's going to be a loss.
Really, at home?
Really at home. I mean, the Patriots just played.
They played the Jets 2 weeks ago and won.
No, but I mean, even the team they played this week, they ended up losing. But I mean, Drake May has turned that team around and made it somewhat, a interesting, a team again, and that's something that, you look at their team and you sit there and go, their roster is way worse than the Bears. Like, they don't have wide receivers, they don't have this, they don't have that. But the fact of the matter is, guess what? They have better coaching, which again makes us look horrible. Like, the fact that we can potentially get outplayed by the Patriots just because they have better coaching is amazing. So, let's see. I'm trying to see.
I don't know.
Yeah, they played the Titans this week and lost 20-17, but it was because of a late overtime interception by Drake May that allowed the Titans to then go down the field and kick a field goal in overtime. So it's one of those where, you look at they beat the Jets 25-22. They could have beat the Titans had not been for a bad pass, which Drake May admitted in the
Israel's got jokes today. He's on one today.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm down here looking at, like they lost the Texans 41-21, 32-16. But like I said, since putting in Drake May, the Patriots have improved overall as a team. And right now with a makeshift offensive line that we have, I can't realistically say, like, I'm 50-50. We could win, we could lose. But I'm leaning more towards the loss.
All right, you got them a lot losing. Well, you had a score for that?
Give me Bears 13, Patriots 20.
Okay. All right,
go ahead.
I think it's going to be a mostly defensive game.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to pick the Bears on this one. If they lose this one, I'm going to say that I'm done. I'm not going to wear this hat anymore. I'm just going to wear hockey stuff. I did get a nice hockey jersey for my birthday, which was great. But I'm going to say the Bears are going to win this one. I feel like this is going to be a bounce back or a must win. I'm going to say 21-17 Bears.
21-17. All
yeah.
Right. All right. Mm-hmm. I am going to go 20-10 Bears. Again, I think it's going to be a defensive battle, and I think we get a pick six because I think our secondary can take care of their quarterback. But again, I have no faith in, if they really go back to running the ball and throwing the Komet, that's the winning formula. It really is. Israel's got the Bears 35-14, and then Dennis has got them 24-10 Bears. So everyone's got the Bears but JC. We shall see if next week who is right. I don't think they trade anybody, Israel. I think they sit pat.
Yeah, I don't think they trade anyone either. No.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Yeah, I'd be very surprised. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about our baseball and basketball teams. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey, true Chicago sports fans, show off your Chicago pride with some fresh clothes from Grit Clothing Company. At Grit Clothing, they create that simple yet classic style that represents that Chicago Southside lifestyle. From t-shirts to hoodies, hats to glassware, they've got you covered. Grit has everything you need to represent your Chicago pride, so do it right now. Check out gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15.
TrueFan15.
For 15% off your entire order. Let me say it again. That's gritclothingco.com and use the promo code TrueFan15 for 15% off of your entire order.
What up? It's Martin Moreno, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast.
Well, welcome back to the TCSF podcast with Big Z, JC Dynasty Fantasy Football in the house, and Stevie B went to go refill his drink. But it is time to talk about our baseball teams. And you know what? The White Sox actually made the right hire after interviewing over 60 candidates or diluting it down from 60 candidates. They made the right choice by getting Will Venable. The White Sox made the addition to the coaching staff. He was a bench coach over there in Texas. Venable brings a wealth of baseball experience. He's about 8 to 10 years removed from actually playing. I'm sorry, he was 8 years. He was an outfielder for the Padres, Rangers, Dodgers, and then he transitioned to the coaching and front office roles with Jesus. Why am I blanking on a name? Who had
he was also on the Cubs.
Yeah, he was a
base coach,
first base coach for the Cubs.
First base.
Yeah, and he was also under Theo in the front office. So he's Bruce Bochy, Theo. He was over there with Alex Cora. He's one of his best friends is Dave Roberts. So he's got a wealth of knowledge with winning organizations and how to do things in different roles. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons that he chose Chicago, because he could have been a Mets coach last year. And also, like, with Bruce Bochy not retiring, he thought he was the heir apparent, and you don't know when he's going to retire. He's like, I'm a hot name right now. You might as well strike with the iron's hot. But he does have an analytical approach and strong communication. He's been said to be a strong listener. A lot of his players speak very highly. Even I think it was Ian Happ on the radio last week that was praising him on how he helped him get out of a slump. Again, I don't know who's going to fill out his coaching staff, but this is a good hire and in a good direction. It looks like they actually did their due diligence in interviewing different people from different organizations to extract information, how they're being viewed, what the approach is to playing the White Sox, all these different things that can help them in the future. So maybe Chris Getz is actually doing a really good job, and we won't find out for years to come. But Venable is going to be a good hire for the White Sox. Again, this is a rebuild that's going to take about 4 to 5 years. Will he be here after the rebuild's been done? That's yet to be seen. Hopefully, he's here early enough for the rebuild and able to grow with the kids to be able to reap the fruits of his labor. So I'm excited for this hire, and we shall see what the rest of the offseason is going to take, because I know they're going to spend. But at the same time, we need to know who they're going to call up, and are they going to trade Crochet? Are they going to trade Robert? In my opinion, you keep Crochet. He's a phenomenal pitcher. You already traded Cease. You could have had that 1-2 combo to dominate your starting lineup. But at the same time, like, are they going to win with no bats? No. So I guess, in my opinion, if you trade Crochet, it's going to take you longer to recoup the winning ways. So any thoughts on Venable for the White Sox?
I just got to say good luck to him, and taking a step down from his nice career. I guess he's going to be on a White Sox jersey, and that sucks. He could have been a Met. I wish he was a Met. I don't know who would want to take the job of being a manager for the White Sox. I definitely wouldn't. Definitely would not.
Yes, you would. There's only 30 jobs, 30 head coaches.
I wouldn't take it.
You wouldn't take that over the job that you have now?
I'd take up cleaning the shitter than the job I have now, but I will not do that job. Wow. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Wow.
No.
I kind of have to agree with Steven to a point. Is you have to pray to God that they actually give him a team,
right?
That can play better than the kids in the Sandlot. This is not a very good team, and they've already said we're not going to be buyers in the offseason. We're not going to. So it's like, is that really what you want to hear as a new GM, that you're had the worst team in MLB last year, and we're not going to do anything to make the team better.
So
That's,
to the point of being the worst team in baseball, we already know that happened, right? And it happened on the Grifol. Chris Getz knew exactly what he was doing. And again, this is just based on the transactions that he made. He traded Cease at the beginning of the season and then said, we're going to lose 100 games, maybe 110. Those are his words. That they lost another 11 games. That's on Grifol. That's on Grifol because there was no fundamentals. No one was held accountable. So then they traded all the big pieces. Did they get much back for them? No, they didn't. But at least they flipped some players. We know they're not going. They're going to bring up the kids. I'm fine with that. But they're not going to lose 120 games again.
You sure about that?
Yeah, you sure?
About that?
Like sandwich bets.
I'll play those odds.
100. Okay, it's like 120 plus games.
I'll go back to back.
Wiggle room. I'm going to say 110. I want some wiggle room here.
They're not losing 120 again.
I'll say they will. I'll put money on that.
All right, so a good sandwich.
I'll put money on they lose over 105.
Yeah, they're gonna lose.
That's an easy money line right there.
Yeah, they're gonna lose like 105 to 110, maybe 150.
They're gonna lose 130. Break that record.
They're not gonna have players to show up. There's gonna be like 5 players on the outfield, just like
one's picking their nose, the other one's trying to play with butterflies.
Coming from, like me and Steven are coming from, like, I mean, do I really have to take that job? Like,
yeah,
I have to spend at least 1 year going through 130 losses because, like,
I do 365 already. So what's another? Oh man.
I mean, at least at this point, like, you're going to get some high draft picks,
Yeah.
No,
get some talent, talent in the farm system. No,
not with the new rules. You can't tank. You cannot tank, especially if you tank 2 years in a row. You're nowhere near the top 10.
Well, I mean, so
thanks, Theo.
So wait, where's their picks at?
I'll pull that up for you right now.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting season. I know Big Z probably go to opening day like he normally does.
Yeah, still going to that, yeah.
He'll hang out with all his drinking buddies and party it up and, have a couple of glizzies and some fries, I
mean, here's what I'll say is, for the casual fan, I mean, you can at least afford to go to a game because, the tickets are going to be like $5.
Yeah.
So
they can't pick earlier than 10th.
I mean, you can still get a good one
what pick did they had last year that they can't pick higher than 10.
That's the new rule. You can't tank more than twice. They've lost 100 games before, the year before that, and they lost 121. So you can't pick no higher than no lower than 10th or whatever. So it's just ridiculous. There's
that's kind of a weird rule. I can definitely see like you can't tank more than like 3 years, but
I get why for small markets like Pittsburgh or stuff like that. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, Tampa, Miami do that, and then they get to the playoffs and then they sell off their teams. Again, it's because you have Major League Baseball sharing revenue. Whether you make $85 million or $850 million like the Yankees, right? All that's shared. So it is what it is. So we shall see what the White Sox do. I am not going to White Sox Fest, and that's the first year they're bringing that back. But I usually go, but I'm not going this year. Not giving that.
Stay strong. I like that.
Yeah. The other side of town of Wrigley, Chicago Cubs outfielder Cody Bellinger has picked up his $27.5 million option for the 2025 season. So, what is your impression here? Because now the Cubs are going to be cash strapped and not going to be able to make moves.
I mean, let's be honest. We knew it was going to happen because Belly did not play very well. So therefore, nobody was going to pay him more than what the Cubs are currently paying him. So yay us. We get to live in mediocrity again and be told, we're going to be great, guys. Don't you worry. And same thing.
500 average team. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, with the position that we have, the outfield, everyone's, looking great and somewhat. it's kind of like Sisea, you're going to have him be DH. I think that's going to have to be his role, see how he fits in that position.
Yeah.
He pretty much got all this season.
Yeah.
Well, Ian Happ is in left, and you got Pico Armstrong in center, and then you would have Belly in right field, so that moves Seiya, or you can
I would move Belly to first, and then
you have Michael Bush.
I mean, I would have him switch a bit, but I don't know. They can't trade Suzuki because they have opening. What am I talking about? They play in Japan for opening day. So So I bought our tickets. We're gonna go. Plane tickets, everything is paid for. You know,
I'm down. I'm in.
I stole Sean's credit card and got him really drunk and give me that credit card. But I don't think anything's really going to change. I think I agree with JC on this one, and we're going to be another 500, mediocrity team. The average Joes.
Yeah.
Joe Smo.
Yeah, they should wear average Joe's jerseys. Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting because, we have some interest in the Japanese pitcher. He's a younger guy. Like I said, if Shota would, give the blessing of like, hey, this kid can pitch, like I said, I think it would be interesting if that is a player we are looking to bring in this offseason to possibly replace
probably Wicks. He hasn't been performing
Smiley.
well. Oh, Smiley. Yeah, Smiley.
Well, I was thinking
Hendricks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I mean, we have bullpen issues. We still have a lot of other issues with this Cubs team that, we talked about. Happ is getting paid a decent amount of money. Saya Suzuki is getting paid a decent amount of money. And now with Belly back in, there's a lot of money going there too. And then who was the young kid we brought up at the end of the year? The outfielder, Fernando.
I don't know. Yeah, can't think off the top of my head with that one.
He's one of the prospects. That
I think he played like 4 games.
Because we talked about it a couple weeks ago, like where because they're like all of our prospects are outfielders, and how do we fit them into the into our lineup and into our outfield?
You got Owen Casey and James Toronto's.
Neither of those are the guys I'm thinking.
Let's see. If we go further, Alcantara.
Yeah. And we were discussing a couple weeks ago with him, how can we fit him in? And like I think how you do it is Hap, Crow, and him, Alcantara in right. And like I said, you move Belly to first, Bush. I don't know.
That's the thing. You have a lot of log jams with a lot of question marks because you don't know what kind of season Belly's going to have. Bush is, young.
Could we move Bush in the offseason?
You could.
It's possible.
You're not paying him much.
So I mean, there's an option right there. Is trade him, get some prospects.
You traded for him from the Dodgers. He was log jammed over there because Freddie Freeman's over there. He's getting paid $741,000.
And he didn't help the Dodgers win at all. So
yeah, he might get a ring still.
I would
possibly.
I would definitely be interested. Like if we could move Bush and get a catcher.
Yeah, they're gonna stick with their catchers. They're gonna stick with Amaya.
I kind of hope they won't, but I agree. They're probably going to keep him. But we did claim lefty Rob Zaktrizini off wagers.
From the Brewers, yeah.
Yeah, waivers.
I know people were super excited. I'm like, oh, are they going to sign Cuas or Alonso or
we're not getting any of those. Soto, no.
You're not. Soto's going to end up on the Mets because the owner already said, I'm outbidding everybody. So unless he doesn't want to go to the Mets, he's going to stay in New York with the Yankees.
Yeah. Other than that, I think pretty much with the Cubs, it's just going to be all average Joes. I mean, Ian Happ got his third Gold Glove. Big freaking deal. I mean, cool, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, for him, but that doesn't do anything for the team.
Yeah, he saved some runs.
All right, but I want more hitting. I want more home runs. I want fireworks. I want confetti in my face.
Well, I think you got to pay extra for that.
Only on Thursdays.
Patrick Wisdom, I think he might be a free agent. I'll double check that for you. Patrick Wisdom. Wisdom. I don't even see him on here. He might be a free agent.
Possibly.
Yeah, he's not even on that roster right there.
Well,
yeah, but again, congratulations to Ian Happ on getting his Golden Glove. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, at least you have a Gold Glover.
Yeah, we always have Gold Glovers, and that's not new to me. JC, am I wrong?
Who was your Gold Glovers last year?
Well, you had Ian Happ. You had Patrick Wisdom.
He was a Gold Glover last year.
I believe so. JC, back me up on here. Who else?
I cannot back you up on that. I'm not. Sure.
All right.
I know two of them off top of my head. And it was
Hap.
It was Hap. It was Nico Horner.
Yeah.
Dansby Swanson, and Ian Happ. Those are your three Gold Glovers. I knew Happ and Swanson because Swanson's always in the conversation. But Nico Horner. All right. We're not getting Anthony Rizzo. That's we have like first base.
Done.
Yeah, they're starting to look at the White Sox where everybody can play first base. No, definitely no.
I agree. I don't want to get him back. I don't see what he's gonna do offensive. Like he could still hit, but it's not the same. He's not the same player when he was here in 2016 to with the Yankees. It's just that's not it. Yeah.
No. Chris, are you kidding me, Israel? Chris Bryant?
No.
That dude can't make a perfect hot dog.
Yeah, and he can't play more than 5 games in a row.
He didn't even play that last season. They set him down. They just set him down. They're like, you're not playing, kid. Him and
Javi. Yeah.
They paid those guys millions, great money to go sit on the bench.
Right. No, thank you. We got rid of him at a good time. The only one, Schwarberg was struggling during the playoffs, but he, still there. But
I would still take Schwarber leading off from my team.
Yeah, I would, but he's not that degressing, but he's still great, but not as bad as the other 3.
All right, let's transition over to the Madhouse on Madison because JC's itching with his new hat on there. Madhouse on Madison. The Bulls are playing right now. They're playing the 0-6 Salt Lake City.
It's halftime right now.
I don't want to
60.
Because it doesn't matter.
No, they're not winning. I'm going to tell you that right now. They're not winning.
They've been down like 3 games in a row, down 20, and they won 2 of them. And it's just they're 3-3. They're horrible. Zach LaVine is out today with a hip.
Patrick Wisdom also had an issue.
Patrick Wisdom or Patrick Williams?
Williams. I'm sorry. I'm still thinking.
Wisdom's playing for the Bulls. Holy crap!
I'm still thinking about the Cubs right now.
Yeah, Alonzo Ball, right wrist sprain already. So
yeah,
man, that kid loves to be hurt and be at the end of the bench or at home, not doing anything, get paid. I don't know what is it with the Chicago Bulls and the Chicago White Sox. Who these ghost injuries happen all the time, and these players who have been paid millions of dollars are not showing up and not doing anything. I had a whole thing on the Bulls, and I'm not even gonna go over it just because it's sickening to understand that this team it's back and forth, and they never do anything in the middle of the road and don't develop anybody, and it's just bad basketball. They can't play defense. You got ball hogs and repetitive all over. So. I don't know.
No, we could be done with it. I'm done with it. I got nothing to say. Mediocre team. I don't think I'm going to go to any games. I think the only thing I'm going to do is go to the Blackhawks game.
Yep.
I'm not going to go to a Bears game. I'm not, unless they're free tickets. And if it's cold out, Big Z won't go. JC, more than welcome to go.
I would go.
Yeah, I know you would. We go to a lot of things together, okay? Concerts,
I've been to games like December 31st in the 400 level, like where you could see the lake.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not drinking beer because I'm not going down that many flights of stairs all the way back down. No way.
No, no.
But yeah,
I've done some cold games in Soldier Field, so I don't have a problem doing that.
I just think right now it's just a sad time. Again, another sad season for all of sports for us.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that we are the second, third largest market for sports athletic teams, and unfortunately, we have Green Bay Packers where it's like it's a town of 30,000 people, but yet they have a better team than us constantly. It's just a sad state of affairs in Chicago. The Bulls, you read a couple wins here and there, and but at the same time, you know what the Bulls are, what they're going to give you. We're probably going to end up, 6th, 7th, 8th in, the standings, and we're going to go to the playoffs, and we're never going to get a high draft pick.
Yep.
We're going to be just good enough to, struggle along as always. My question to you guys, just to talk Bulls for a second, should we have paid Patrick Williams what we paid him?
Not at all.
Thank you.
You should have.
If we, the casual fans, realize this, what is the coaching staff doing?
Nothing. Just like the Bears coaching staff.
Throw them in. See what they could do. That's essentially what it is. Go make a play.
We're going to pay Patrick Williams all this money, but then we're going to go draft Buzelis, who plays the same position
and is in the G League. They sent him out to the G League, so they're like, "Oh, we'll give him more reps down there." Okay, whatever. I don't understand the redundancy in how they draft and how they sign people when you have somebody who's getting paid more than the talented person and not getting playing time. You also have the question of, hey, who won the trade for Alex Caruso? And I think we did. We got Giddey scoring 15 points a game. He's getting some rebounds. He's got some assists. Alex Caruso is not doing too well if you look at his stats.
I mean, he's winning in life, though. I've stumbled upon his girlfriend on TikTok, and he's a lucky guy. She's very attractive.
You know what makes people
Good
lucky?
for him.
Money.
Huh?
Money makes him lucky.
Well, that's a good reason. Yeah, money's the motivation.
I'm not saying I'm rich, but I mean, I got money, and it doesn't help me none.
Hey, I appreciate it. Okay. We do a lot of fun things like concerts and stuff like that.
We have 2 more concerts coming up, Steven. Don't you worry.
Yes, we do.
That's made in heaven.
Like Steven, I'm gonna P Diddy Steven. That's all it is.
Wow.
Holy hell, that came out of left field.
Well, I mean, it's just to the point where, it's a sad state of affairs in Chicago.
Oh, God. Give me the loot.
And we're going to transition over to the Blackhawks.
Blackhawks, I mean, still lovable losers. Not much to say for
they're rebuilding. We know they're rebuilding. We know what.
But here's the thing that's irritating me is the LA Kings went through a rebuild and they're still pretty good now. Like they're higher and farther ahead than the Blackhawks are right now. And we beat Anaheim. We
beat the Kings on last Saturday.
No, I know, but still, I feel like they're ahead in rebuilding. But I don't know. It's just really irritating because they'll come back and then they'll give it up and they'll lose by a goal. I mean, they'll come back from a 2-0, goal, but then they'll lose it in the bottom of the third quarter, and they'll lose 3-2. They'll lose 2-1. But I mean, they come back, they fight. That's
all you can ask for.
Yeah, and they've done that last season too. They pulled a couple upsets. They beat the Oilers this year, which was great. So, but hey, it's fun to see them. I think that's the only glimpse of light you have left in me.
Well, I don't know if you guys have time off during that Thanksgiving week. That whole week I'm off. So,
I have PTO I got to take.
If we can,
let me know what dates. And If you can get me dates quickly, I can probably put in for a day off or
Yeah.
whatever.
I think the Anaheim series, the lowest ticket was $34.
For the 19th.
Yeah.
Is that November 19th?
No, so I'm off the week of the 25th. So my last day at work is the 22nd. So 23rd.
What day is that?
23rd is a Saturday through the 30th.
Well, Tuesday games are the cheapest, but I'm just saying. I don't care. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to find
Or we find what has the best giveaways that week.
27th is a Wednesday against the Stars. Let's see.
I mean, they're pretty good.
7th would be Wednesday.
Is that Thanksgiving Day? Shit, that might be the actual Thanksgiving. No.
I mean, I could if it's at night.
It's the day before. It's the day before.
Oh, day before. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So the 27th.
I should be able to ask for that off.
That's Blackout Wednesday. Oh,
tickets as low as $60.
Oh, that's not bad.
All right. We'll talk off.
Then we go somewhere else afterwards and brown out.
No, I'm not brown out.
Browning out is you still remember parts of the night, but you don't completely forget, like blacking out.
I thought of a different interpretation, but all right, we'll just go with that one because that's a little bit more PG.
That's the one that yeah. That's how it is. You're not blacking out, you're browning out. But yeah.
All right.
After JC's comments, I could see why you went that way.
Yeah. Oh my god. All
right, let's transition over.
I think we're done. Because I want to mention the Chicago Sky did hire a new coach. Finally, it took them forever.
You mean we're not going to push the double doubles?
That's something that's so annoying, and you know that. So they turned to the Aces assistant coach. I think his last name is Tyler Marsh. Yeah, Tyler Marsh. So he was an assistant and head of player development with the Aces. So he signed a multi-year deal, and he's also part of Clutch Sports. So good for them. If they end up healthy, they should have a decent team. But we shall see about again. They had a bad coach prior the last two times. Last two coaches I didn't think were really good ones. So hopefully getting somebody from a winning organization can turn this team around because we need to be excited about something.
Yeah. Before we end the stream and the actual show, I've been going to the comic book store a lot and I got some good ones. So I'm just going to share two. Absolute Batman is by far super great. I paid a little bit more to get this different cover. And last but not least, this came out last week. Batman and Robin Year One. The graphics on this one are amazing. I love it. Be sure to go check it out at your local comic book store. But I know Big Z would enjoy this one a lot. Year One, the actual drawings and everything is so original. It looks really cool.
So you're opening these up and reading them then?
I am, but then I'm putting them carefully. But I put gloves on when I'm reading these things. So if they hit, I got Wolverine, the 50th anniversary, the second one, and stuff like that, and Marvel Zombies and stuff like that. So, but yeah, if you have time to go read those, or you could just listen to the audio when people do the comic book readings on YouTube. They'll put the comic book, they'll put the art on there, and then they'll voice over all the,
they do different
whatever they say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad you're reading, Steven. Just really glad you're reading. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I'm reading something.
Alcohol destroys, comic books repair.
Yeah. It's a good balance.
But yeah, it's been good. I need to find a box to label and put them away because I have them laying around. You
got to get that hanging system where you just drop them in.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's like $30. Yeah.
Oh, well, it's worth it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to do that, invest, since I've already collected. I think I have already 100 here. So I think I spent like $22 on maybe 6 comics, which isn't bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
So
you can have worse vices.
Oh, yeah. Well, we all could. We all could. So, but yeah, I just wanted to share that. And if you want to pick something up, you could start early. I know mid-season of a comic book always is a pain because you have to find them and whatever. But
I just want to give a quick shout out to Martin Moreno and Hooter and Otto from Estrella Negra. I was over there this past Halloween for their comic show that they come do. So it was a late night show. It started around 11:30. I think we got there like at 1:30. Great time with Martin Moreno and Hooter. And then Otto was a great host and tons of great food and drinks. But I had a great time. Also, my Dodgers won. So I'm excited.
You're a White Sox fan. Stop it.
I need no. That's always been my second team. It's always been my second team.
No,
So.
there is none of this second team. Just like me and Steven, we are Cubs fans. We suffer as Cubs fans. We do not get to claim another team. It is what it is.
Well, technically, I claimed the Red Sox, but they're not doing any better. So, yeah,
you got to have one team on each league.
I don't.
Yeah, but I pick a franchise that actually is somewhat.
The Dodgers have been recent. I've been a Dodger fan since '84. So
I can't do math, but I feel like you were born
81.
Oh, okay.
Fernando Venezuela, bro. All right. So
I have players from teams, but I have no second teams. There's only one team.
Jason, anything exciting you're doing before we sign off?
No, nothing really exciting for me. Just business stuff, plenty of apparel and shirt stuff going on for me. That's it. I unfortunately, it's end of season, so it's just been constant like putting the boat away, stuff like that, trying to get things closed up for the season and preparing for winter.
Winter is coming.
Unfortunately.
All right, boys. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And thank you to our listeners and watchers for sticking with us and supporting us through 219 episodes. Thank you to our sponsors, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans, and Grit Clothing Company. You know what to do at gritclothingco.com. Check us out on 606media.com. You can catch audio versions of Noir on the Weekend. You can catch the audio and the video version of the TCSF podcast. You can catch both audio and video of Intoxicated on there as well. So if you want a central hub for all of your favorite shows, go there. But you can also use your favorite app. And if you do, go ahead and give us a 5-star review and drop some nice comments on Twitter. Drop us some nice comments and a thumbs up and subscribe. Just help us out. Doesn't cost you a thing. But if you do want to drop some coins, you know what to do. If you got any topics you want to talk about, hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com. For Stevie B, JC Dynasty Fantasy Football, I am Big Z. And we'll see you next time for episode 220. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.